Metal Jesus back again. Now I am super excited, and the reason for that is because a good friend of mine, Tyler, had a little surprise for me whenever my wife and I went over to have dinner with him and his wife last week. Now, people who know me know that I'm really into two things. I'm into video games, I'm into music, and so he knows that. And when he said he had a little gift for me, man, I was like dying to know what it was. And it turned out to be pretty awesome. So I think you're gonna like it, and I think you're gonna be a little jealous because he donated all this cool stuff to me. So let's take a look. All right, so to start off here, I'm just blown away that Tyler gave me this. It's Xenogears. Now, this is a really well sought after role-playing game by Squaresoft, released for the PlayStation 1, and it's complete. Now, my experience with this has been that I played the sequels that came out. I guess they weren't direct sequels, but they were, you know, kind of within the same sort of genre, is Xenosaga 1, 2, and 3 on the PlayStation 2. And what I love about those games is that, you know, a lot of role-playing games kind of start off in the Lord of the Rings kind of Middle Earth sort of, you know, the orcs and the elves and that sort of stuff. This game has none of that stuff. It's in the future. It's got big robots, a lot of CGI, you know, Japanese crazy storylines. It's kind of religious. It's really out there, but definitely a lot of fun. And I was really blown away that he decided to donate it to my channel. So again, I'm kind of speechless. That was awesome. Thank you. But that wasn't all of the role-playing games he donated. He also donated an original copy of Vagrant Story, another classic for the PlayStation 1. This is also by Squaresoft. I think Tyler is a role-playing game fan. Another game he donated, the original Metal Gear Solid. So I played the remake that came out on the GameCube, and I thought that was pretty cool, but it's always nice to own the original. Next up, another role-playing game, Final Fantasy IX. I played a little bit of this back in the day, and it was actually one of my favorite Final Fantasies, so it's cool to own this. Speaking of Final Fantasy, he also gave me a copy of Final Fantasy VII. This is the game that turned millions of gamers into role-playing fans. Very cool to own. Next up is a game called Driver. This is the original Driver, and this is awesome to own. Also, Crash Bandicoot 2. I just want to say Electric Boogaloo after that, but no, it's actually called Cortex Strikes Back. Another classic role-playing game, one of my all-time favorites, Chrono Cross, the sequel to Chrono Trigger. I love this game. Very cool to own it. Awesome music. Next up is a game that I'd heard of and has a big following, but I haven't played it yet, called Front Mission 3. A little bit difficult to find nowadays, and so it's cool that he gave me this, also by Squaresoft. And supposedly this game has, you know, over 150 hours of gameplay, so a lot's packed onto this one disc here. Next up is a classic, the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Cool to own this. I don't think I ever owned this game. I own the second one on, but it's cool to own the original now. Speaking of original, here is the original Tomb Raider for the PlayStation 1. Very cool. Love the original Tomb Raider game. I remember when I first got it, I had it on the PC, and I bought a 3D video card just to play it, and I remember just having her skydive off of these big cliffs to crash below. It was so funny just to see that. Another original, Syphon Filter. Haven't played this. I played the new Syphon filters on the PSP and liked them a lot, so it should be fun to kind of go back and check this out. The original Gran Turismo. Didn't own this, now I own it. And Gran Turismo 2. So that's what he donated as far as the PlayStation 1 goes. But he also threw in this pretty cool device. It's called the Power Base Converter for the Sega Genesis. Now what this is a converter for your Genesis to allow you to play the Sega Master System. What that is, and I didn't know this up until a couple years ago, Sega released a competitor for the original Nintendo Entertainment System back in like 85, something like that, 86. And It wasn't very popular in America, although it was huge the rest of the world. And so what this allows you to do is play those games. And technically that system's actually more powerful than the Nintendo system. So the games are considered pretty good for it. And so he threw this in, which was really cool because I didn't own any of those Master System games or anything like that. So now I can start collecting for this. And he threw in some games. So let me show you what those are. The first one is Spellcaster. This is, I assume it's like an action RPG or something. So, again, completely new to me. Another game called Psycho Fox. This is I did some research and I guess a lot of people really like this game, so it's kind of fun to own it. Cyborg Hunter. So this looks like another action game that uses 2 controllers. So I'm gonna have to hook up 2 Genesis controllers and give that a shot. And then because because he gave me this, I had to go out and get a few more Sega Master System games. And this is what they look like. And this one's Shinobi. Played some of this, and this is actually really fun. My first time playing that game. And another classic, California Games. I used to own this on the Commodore 64, and this looks like a good version of that. California Games is a bunch of sort of mini games that are sports games like, so cool to own. Love me some Ghostbusters, so I had to get Ghostbusters as well. This looks like a pretty decent version of that, although I had trouble figuring out what to do. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with a manual, so I'm gonna have to dig up to figure out. It can't be that difficult, but for some reason I couldn't figure out how to even like buy stuff for my car. And then finally, Hang On and Safari Hunt. And this is 2 games on 1 cartridge. So Tyler, I want to thank you for donating these games to my collection, man. It's one of the things that kind of blows me away about having a YouTube channel and a video game collection is that people are willing to sometimes donate to you. That's how I got my Dreamcast, that's how I got my Genesis. Just a bunch of those consoles were given to me. And I gotta say, I think it's because they know they're going to a good home. They know that I will play them and love them and keep them in great condition and stuff like that. I'm not gonna sell them. I'm not interested in selling any of these things. So thank you, Tyler, again. I really, really appreciate it. You're awesome, man. You kick ass. So, all right, everyone, I wanna thank you for watching my channel and thanks for subscribing. Take care.